Alright, everyone, welcome back to Jojo 101, where we talk about everything and anything in the JoJo's universe. Today, we will be talking about the Part 6 pink haired ally, Anasui. We all know him, we all love him. He's in there for dismembering his girlfriend and whoever she slept with that day, but that's not the point. We love this convicted felon. Anyway, if you have you ever wanted to become a stand user? Well, you're in luck, dear viewer, because I have the stand White Snake, and I just have a bag full of discs with stands. And I want Christmas is coming up. I'm getting in the mood to give. So if you like, comment, and subscribe, I will come to your house and give you a stand. I'll put the disc in your head and you'll get a stand. But you have to like and you have to subscribe. And if you comment what you think about Anasui, that will boost the chance of you getting a good stand. So I think y'all should like, comment, subscribe now. Anyway, let's start talking about the convicted felon Anasui. Ever since his childhood, Anasui has been troubled. He has a strange condition that makes him disassemble things. He disassembled things like his toys, watches, and like anything he could just grab in his vicinity. And eventually he was put in like a ward for it. Now, you might be wondering, they should have like did that sooner. I wonder what pushed them. He disassembled an entire car. And later down in his life, he got off of work early and he went to his girlfriend's house and eventually found her sleeping with another man. And that's kind of what I talked about earlier. He disassembled them both and was then arrested and thrown into the Green Dolphin Street prison, where he would later go on to meet, the love of his life, his BFF weather report, and everybody. Now, since this is part 6, we're no longer talking about Hamon, but we will now be talking about stands. Anasui's stand is Diver Down. I really like the design of Diver Down. I love the colors of the pink, and I love the blue and the yellow stripes going all over his body. It's really fire. But what is Diver Down's ability? Divers Down can phase into you or anything. It can phase into anything and restructure it from the inside. For example, in the Yo-Yo Ma Comes to Town arc, he uses Diver Down to phase into Yo-Yo Ma and replace his brain with a frog's brain. That's super cool. How could you not like that? And it has another ability where it basically, if it strikes a surface, it can basically combine the kinetic absorption that thing has, making it take greater damage. For example, when Anasui was escaping the Green Dolphin Street prison, he had to punch a door. What he did, he used Diver Down to punch it a lot, and it just goes flying. And it could the energy from his punches into the door, he released it all at once, making the door go flying off the hinges. So that's it for his stand. Anasui plays kind of a big role in part 6 as a main ally of Jolene and Hermes and just the whole crew. He was first introduced in the Ghost Room alongside Weather Report. They didn't get properly introduced, but the first time we ever see Anasui, he didn't look like the male we know him as, because he was originally going to be Andromedus. So the first time we're ever seen or kind of introduced to Anasui, it's not properly. He is introduced alongside Weather Report in Emporio's Ghost Room, where he was originally planned to be androgynous, which is he has features of male and feminine features. But later, from what I hear, mainly Araki's editors didn't want him to be female, so they pushed for him to be male. So we later got Anasui as a male. And we don't get properly introduced to Anasui until the start of the Dragon's Dream arc, where FF goes to the Ghost Room for help, and Anasui agrees to help only if he can be Jolene's bodyguard, and he basically admits his burning love for her and goes to help FF. And after that, he has just been a main like unit of the team. He's obsessed with Jolene, basically. Like that is his love. And basically everything Anasui does is to help her. Like he helps with the Dragon's Dream, he helps with Yo-Yo Ma, he helps with the Green Baby, and eventually he does help with White Snake's pursuit. And this man, with alongside Weather Report, even escaped the Green Dolphin Street prison to go after her because he just loves her that much. And he even does things like gift her like wedding rings that like comedically get like thrown away. That's something that happens a lot over part six, and also we like trying to get with Jolene and something comedic happens. That's not a diss, some of it was funny. Like the ring thing I just mentioned, it got a little chuckle out of me. And Anasui even goes to the Kennedy Space Center with Jolene and Emporio to fight Poochie. And since this is part six, we all know how part six ends. Poochie wins, basically. And we see a glimpse of Anasui in the new timeline as Anarchist, and we see that he is engaged with the Jolene parallel of this verse named Irene. Really good. W for Anasui. Really proud of him. So that about wraps it up for the Anasui video. Not really much to go over. I just really like Anasui. He's one of my favorite characters. I like his stand. I like his main goal of being a Jolene simp. You know, I feel him there. But I figured I would dedicate this last part to this video. Let's all take a moment and talk about this hypothetical what if. So, you all know me. I'm a stand user, of course. You know I'm the GOAT. I know everything about JoJo's, basically. So, here's the hypothetical. What if me and Anasui got in a fight for Jolene? So now a lot of you are probably thinking Anasui would kick my ass and kill me. But no, that's where you're wrong. Let's get into it. So let me set the scene. Jolene walks up, like Jolene spawns. Let's say I'm like walking down the street. Jolene spawns and she says, "Hey, I need help. I'm madly in love with you," because that is what Jolene would say if she ever seen me, of course. And she said, "Hey, I'm madly in love with you. I need your help." And she said, "I gotta take down Anasui." And I'm like, "Oh, that's the guy with Diver Down. Okay, I got this." Anasui comes down the street, and we get ready for a fight. All right, I dash at Anasui. I hit him with my right hook. Okay, okay. He sends Diver Down into me, but since I know what Diver Down does and how it restructures things, I jolt back, and but Diver Down does get into my arm. Let's say it's my right arm, and it just like screws up my entire right arm. My bones go all over in my right arm, and I'm like, "Oh, ow, that hurt." Then I hit him with the left hook. Oh, he goes flying into the street. He sends Diver Down to punch me a few times, and I go flying back with the kinetic energy. I like let's say I fly into a window and I get stabbed in the back by some glass shards, and Jolene gasps as she like tears up a little bit. I get up, I see Jolene like that, and I run at Anasui, and I like clench my fist, seeing that Jolene is so upset, and I like jump at Anasui, and I go through him like how Kid Goku went through Demon King Piccolo, and I win, and I get with Jolene. Now, a lot of you may be thinking that would never happen. You're just a hater because that is canonically what would happen. Fact checked by true American patriots. So, yeah, please like and subscribe.